In measuring body composition, skinfold measurements are fairly accurate as they correlate with measurements done by hydrodensitometry and have a standard error of estimation of plus or minus 3.5. Three factors that can cause a standard error of estimate include the client being either extremely obese or lean, or an inexperienced technician not using proper technique with the calipers, or the calipers being improperly calibrated. However, you can calibrate these calipers by making sure the needle on the calipers is set at 0 or checking to make sure 1 millimeter on the caliper is actually equal to 1 millimeter, or you can set the tension of the calipers to about 12 grams per millimeter. Procedures for doing skin folds are to occur when the client is standing upright and relaxed. All measurements are to be taken on the right side of the body. To measure a skin fold with the thumb and index finger, the technician will pinch the skin and the subcutaneous layers, and the technician will slightly raise and shake their fingers to ensure that they are only pinching the skin and subcutaneous layers. As the skin is pinched, the caliper is placed directly on the skin, 1 centimeter away from the pinched index finger and thumb. The calipers are placed perpendicular to the skin fold at the halfway point between the base of the fold and the crest. As the calipers measure the skin fold, the skin is to remain being pinched by the thumb and finger. The reading of the measurements is to only take 1 to 2 seconds. Using this technique, you will measure the skin folds on the 7 sites, which include the abdominal, the triceps, the chest/pectoral, the mid-axillary, the subscapular, the superiliac, and the thigh. For the abdominal area, you will do a vertical fold, and you will measure 2 centimeters to the right side of the umbilicus. For the triceps, it will be a vertical fold, and you will measure halfway between the acromion and the acromion processes. While you are measuring this, the subject should have their arm freely hanging off the side of their body, and it will be measured on the posterior midline of the upper arm. For the pectoral, it will be a diagonal fold. However, the location of measurement differs between men and women. For men, it will be the halfway distance between the anterior axillary line and the nipple, and for women, it will be the top 1/3 distance between the anterior axillary line and the nipple. This technique shows a measurement of the mid-axillary done with the vertical fold. It is done on the mid-axillary line right at the level of the location of the xiphoid process of the sternum. For the subscapular, it is done with the diagonal fold, about 1 to 2 centimeters below the inferior angle of the scapula. The inferior angle of the scapula can be determined by bringing the client's arm back, seeing where the border of the scapula sticks out, then relaxing their arm, and then taking the measurement at that location. Just like the subscapular, the superiliac is done with the diagonal fold. This measurement is taken on the anterior axillary line, directly superior to the iliac crest, right along the natural angle of the iliac crest. The thigh is done with the vertical fold on the anterior midline of the thigh. This measurement is taken on the halfway point between the inguinal crease and the proximal border of the patella. With these techniques, a total of 2 measurements should be taken for each skin fold site, but not at the same time. Instead, go through rotation of measuring each site once, and then repeat the same order of that rotation. This is to allow the skin to regain its original texture. If the 2 measurements at the end are now within 1 to 2 millimeters of each other, then you will do a remeasurement. When 2 appropriate measurements have been made, average out the 2 values. Once you have found the values of the measurements of each of the skin fold sites, you can then go ahead and plug in those values into the body density formula. The body density formulas differ between men and women. For men, the equation goes as 1.112 minus 0.0004349 times the sum of the 7 skin folds plus 0.00000055 times the sum of the 7 skin folds squared minus 0.00028826 times the client's age. The equation for the women's body density is similar but slightly different in some of the values. For instance, it is 1.097 minus 0.0004691 times the sum of the 7 skin folds plus 0.00000056 times the sum of the 7 skin folds squared minus 0.000128828 times the client's age. Now that you have determined the client's body density using either the men's or women's formula, you can then plug in that value to find their percent body fat using either the Brozic formula or the Siri formula. The Brozic formula goes as 457 divided by the body density minus 414.2. Along with the Brozak formula, you can also solve for body fat percentage using the Siri formula. The Siri formula goes as 495 divided by body density minus 450. Regardless of which body fat percentage formula you use, you will still find similar results between the two. Both of these formulas will give you an accurate representation of the client's fat mass and their fat-free mass. In determining a client's body composition, you will find that using the 7-site Skinfold formula will be a very valid representation of their body fat percentage. Through these 7-site Skinfolds, you can then determine the client's body density and from there ultimately determine their body fat percentage.